We are never truly more alive than when we live in a state of constant awe of everything that exists in the universe. Everything around you, everything in your practice, everything we see in nature. The very fact that anything exists at all is a miracle. Life itself is a miracle. It is a gift for us to be here and be aware of our being here in the first place. Our awareness of ourselves and of the opportunities and of our capabilities. Life's a gift that everything else that's here is actually here for us. To know and to learn and to experience. Every moment that passes, the continual existence of all things is a continual miracle that we are in the middle of. We get so hung up on day-to-day things, practice things, money things, health things, other people. This unbelievable mind-destroying distraction called social media that we have to have discipline with and impulse control. So all these distractions keep us from realizing how unbelievable life is, every breath is, chiropractic is. The choices we have, the opportunities, the possibilities, and the power of our conscious and the power of our subconscious mind. It's a miracle that the sun comes up and shines every day. Birds continue to sing in the morning. The trees and the flowers continue to grow. The light snow falls in the wintertime in Minnesota. And the waves crash on the beaches around the world. Everyone continues to awaken after sleeping. People that we love are there to answer when we call. As long as there's life, there's wonder, there's amazement, there's beauty, there's love to experience. Never think for a moment that it should all be there for you. We can't take it for granted. It doesn't have to be there. It is all there because it is miraculously created by the Creator Himself. How often do we put the creation above the Creator? Wow. When we live life in a consciousness that everything is a miracle and it's amazing and it's awesome, then we're in a constant state of gratitude and wonder. See, it's so easy to take stuff for granted and go, oh, and look at things like it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is amazing. It's fascinating. To see that flower open, to see a falcon flying through the air, to look down from a drone and see the dolphins playing in the water. So amazing. Even the simplest and little things. We do not take existence for granted. And we're thankful for every opportunity to experience what each day, what life really has to offer us. Nothing is insignificant if our interest and our desires are to learn and to grow. And we can see how all things have their place in the entire workings of the universe. Every moment really is a blessing. That's all there is. Time is a made-up thing. There's only now. The future exists in your mind now. The past only exists in your mind now. We have clocks and calendars. That's all just man-made stuff. There's only now. There's no such thing as age. It's just now. You are a consciousness inside a physical body now. Every moment is a blessing, and we should value each event as a gift to partake in the expressions of others as well as ourselves. We live a life of consciousness and realization that everything is a miracle. It puts us into a constant state of gratitude, and that's the point of what I'm sharing today. It's about really seeing how amazing everything is and being in a state of thankfulness and gratitude for it. And even things that you think you don't like, because they are there to teach us lessons and make us stronger and more capable. We can't take this existence or all these systems for granted. We got to be thankful for the opportunities to experience what life brings us. Nothing is insignificant. If everything is a miracle, then what makes you think that miracles are so rare and so hard to experience or cause to have happen? They're happening all the time. And whatever miracle you want, love, health, career, money, it can happen for you when you believe. Believing is the root cause of things to go into motion for you. The reason why we're not conscious of miracles, because we've been led to think that only certain kinds of things that happen are actually miracles by definition. But when we look around and realize that all these little things around us are all miracles, and you've already had all kinds of miracles happen in your life, hey, we can cause and create more. We know that miracles are more than what we define them to be. The world of miracles is open for you. Anything you desire can be created. There is nothing too difficult for the universe to do. Look at the ubiquitous abundance of the universe. One watermelon, hundreds of seeds, all of the plants, all of the creepy crawly things on the earth. Massive abundance, overwhelming. It's almost like overwhelming waste. We somehow think there's limitation as it relates to us. Nothing is too difficult for the universe to do. It's as easy and natural for the sun to rise as for the thing you want to come into realization in your life. Practice-wise, money-wise, opportunities, friends, relationships, experiences, generosities. The supernatural and the natural, they operate the same way, except on different planes of reality. What we call natural is what we can see operating in the visible realm. We see it with our eyes and we go, oh, that's just natural that things work that way. We can see it. We can observe it. But what is supernatural operates in the invisible realm, supernatural, like the subconscious mind, sometimes called the superconscious mind. Operates invisibly. Can't see it, but we understand it. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in that substance produces the thing that's imaged by the thought. We can form things with our thoughts, thereby causing the things we think about to be created. The science of getting rich, Wallace Wattles. All things that function in the visible world are controlled by the invisible world. Your inner life becomes your outer life. It's what we can't see that governs what we do see. This is what fools everybody. See, what happens is people see what's around them. That creates the images in their mind. Those images in their mind create their feelings, and they continue to produce the same results as what they see. That's the trap. Burning a hole in space, as I call it. But to see the truth and be able to create and imagine things beyond what you see is what causes your life and reality to go to the next level, sometimes called the quantum leap. Before the appearance of a seedling from the ground, there was an image of a tree contained within the seed. The end of a thing is contained in the beginning of it. Everything that appears in the visible world was first created in the invisible world. The invisible world is the mind, sort of the mind of the universe, and then the mind that you possess, the consciousness that contains all things. See, we have a consciousness, we have a mind. Your mind uses your brain to run the body. Your brain is anatomical. You're going to leave it behind. It is simply the anatomical tool required to run the human body. Your mind is part of your consciousness. You're the spirit being that animates the physical body. Who you are, who's peering out from the little black pupils of your eyes? Who's peering out of that opening in each eye? Who is peering out from your eyes? The person, the spiritual entity that's contained within your physical body. The physical body is going to go away, but you, the person, will carry on. You have control over your mind. Your mind then acts upon the universal mind. It acts upon everything around you. The end of a thing is contained in the beginning of it. Everything that appears in the visible world was first created in the invisible world. If you see somebody that's not growing or changing, it's because their mind is stuck. You see a chiropractor, their practice has stayed the same forever. Their mind is stuck. When you look at a chiropractor's practice, you're looking inside their mind. Because the practice is simply the outward manifestation of what they've been thinking. How could it be anything else? So what happens, people get older and their brains start to turn into stone, which means they can't create, they can't think of new ideas, they can't advance, they're stuck. Sometimes called a rut. Sometimes we call it being flatlined. Flatlined psychologically before you're flatlined physically. The invisible world is the mind and the universe and, of course, the consciousness that contains all things. What you are seeing in your visible world, it's not all there is. It's just what you see there now. If you feel that what you desire isn't there, you can create it. It's the whole point of what I'm sharing today. You have the power. God, the Creator, has given His highest creation, us, a bit of creative power. And that creative power requires that we use our mind, and our mind then acts on all the things around us and will cause them to go into shape and form through the natural laws of nature and the natural laws and rules and channels of commerce to bring to us. If you see a highly successful chiropractor that started from nothing, you're seeing that their mind worked and started to bring things together along with their actions. But action is the catalyst, and that is the problem today. Two problems: lack of thinking and creating and using the mind, number one, and then number two, a lack of action as the catalyst to then bring what you want to you. Goals move you toward what you want. Being thankful moves it toward you. Action moves you toward what you want. Preparation and readiness allows it to come to you. You have to have all of these going. Others might say that some things are impossible, but you got to believe it's there even when you can't see it in reality. You have to be able to picture your practice the way you want it. Picture the bank accounts the way you want it. Picture your health and fitness reasonably at the level you want it. You can imagine relationships the way you want them. You can imagine an appointment book looking the way you want it to look. As of this moment, I had imagined being in my boat next to the president of the Florida Powerboat Club, and I thought it would be really cool if I were side by side with him in both of our boats, cruising along, headed somewhere cool, headed somewhere fun. Sure enough, yesterday I got the video from a drone looking down, and there is my boat next to his boat cruising along from Playa Largo on our way to Ferra Blanco to get fuel to make it the remaining 60 miles to Key West. I had the idea in my mind. The idea was strong enough, I caused it to become reality. We're creating all the time. We're never not creating. But what are you creating? We have control. Although no one really sees it, you can see what you want in your mind. It's the part of you that nobody can take away. There's no prison that can take away your ability to think what you want to think. This is why I love and appreciate the silence so much, because it's when I can be alone and think and use my own mind. I think my favorite workday is Sunday, where I can finally relax a little bit and not have all the people coming after me with all of the needs and questions that are 24 hours a day. And I can just stop and think and imagine and process and create the future with my mind. And I do that in such a way and at such a level that I create the opening and the vacuum for everybody under my care to then grow. Because my clients can never grow beyond where I am. This is why some people who want to, quote, call themselves consultants fail. You can only coach people to your level. Think about it. So I had to go to an ultra high level and then continue with the power of my mind to push and push and push and write and record and perform and innovate and create and present and serve and motivate and inspire, then create more, then think bigger, then advance everything, then upgrade, then rewrite, then edit, then fix, then advance. You get the idea? I push my mind so that then automatically everybody under my care, boom, will then grow into the new space and vacuum that I have created. This is why the Winner's Edge group is so successful and will continue to be successful. And I might make an arrogant statement here. Okay? And there's no other group that is like that, because there's no other leadership of any group that thinks like I just described. Or at least at the level that we have here for you. Take advantage of it. Love to see you be in the Winner's Edge group, growing, learning, sharing, helping other people, learning how to handle money, learning scripting and procedures, learning the practice models that will allow you to collect $200,000 a month as one DC if that's what you want to do. You're among friends. You are connected to the perennial powerhouse. No fear, no doubt, no weakness. You simply join and we go into motion and there is no looking back. So excited for you. You believe what you want already, even if you can't see it now. Heard this taught in many, many books. What the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, Napoleon Hill. Others might say things are impossible, but you know that possibility doesn't exist in the visible, but in the invisible realm. What isn't seen isn't possibility. What it is an opportunity. What isn't seen yet is just thought, it's mind in motion, it's ideas, and we want to get to where it is seen. And when it is seen, it becomes reality. So you want to go from what isn't seen to be able to see it, from what isn't there to make it there, from nothing to something, from this level to that level. And if the mind can get there first, it punches a hole in space, and then your life follows. I look at it like it's a tunnel being drilled into the side of a mountain. And as it drills, and these huge pieces of equipment create this tunnel, it makes room for the train to go. But the train can't go where the tunnel wasn't already drilled out, creating space for it. So your mind has to drill into the ether so your life can then follow and go down the corridor that's been created by your mind through goals and through action. Remember now, even the hole for the tunnel, for the train, it had to be thought of, engineered, and then work. And then boom, you got a train rolling through a mountain, through a cool tunnel, coming out the other end. Only those who see the invisible can create the impossible. I see this happen all the time. Chiropractors doing stuff that's basically impossible. Collecting amounts they never thought in a million years they would collect. And it becomes so normal they start to take it for granted, which is another mistake. The reason why we don't experience certain things that we desire is because we think that those are special cases that only happen once in a while to other people. So here's what we say: why not you? Why not now? When we realize that miracles are happening all the time, and not just some of the time, we can believe that those things that we think of as rare events can happen, like the sun rising every morning and the planets being out there and the stars, the tides, the seasons. These things are happening continuously, and you can have continuous cool things happening to you. If our mind is clear and we're sharp about what we want, and we can describe it, and we have clear goals for it, and we're thankful, and there's only like 5 or 10 main things that can really completely reshape a person's life. Of course, they're never taught in school, because school's purpose is to keep you from knowing this and make you a good little person that pushes the buttons and runs the machines and does what you're told. Disaster. Just even look at the American school system. Take a growing child and shove him inside a building stuck in a chair all day. Just tell me how that is possibly good in any way. Just think about how that has got to violate all biology, anatomy, physiology, psychology. What could possibly be good about taking a child during their formative growing years and shoving them in a room and sticking them in a chair, okay, and limiting everything that's possible for them? It's an unbelievable phenomenon. But it is a convention in society today, and people look at it like it's just the way it is, and they want their good little boys and girls to get good grades. So maybe they can get into a good school and get a job, and somebody else can pat them on the head and pay them a good paycheck. Wow. Wow. Create, expand, live, experience. Dynamic. Huge. When we believe that something already exists, even when it's not yet in the visible world, we're able to create it from nothing. Create an incredible practice from a bare floor. Create wealth from empty bank accounts. Create health and vitality from a body that was previously deconditioned and lazy. A miracle is created and set in motion the moment you think and believe it. Look what's happened in many of your practices. It's actually a miracle. Sitting there going, where did all these people come from? And these people pay me. How did that happen? People going out of their way and driving to my office to see me and pay me for my services? Every time someone walks in the door, it's a miracle. And how easy is it for the chiropractor to take it for granted and act like it's just another visit? Soon as you start to think that it's just another visit, you're doomed. You have to realize that every visit is a miracle. Every adjustment can bring a miracle. Every person is a miracle, even though, there are people that can excite you and inspire you. There are people that can annoy you. No less impressive with any of those circumstances. A miracle is created and set in motion the moment your mind goes into action and believes you can see that volume, attract those new ones, draw that money and pay off that debt. Okay, repair a relationship, bring a new relationship. Dismiss a relationship you have no business being in. Making your life the way you want it. That's what we call power here at Winner's Edge. Power is your ability to make your life the way you want it. Power is the ability to make your life the way you want it. That's power. Winner's Edge exists to create power in people so you can have a life that is the way you want. Live where you want, drive what you want, go where you want, eat what you want, give what you want. That's power. Power comes from control, and control starts with you controlling your mind and what you think, because what you are thinking is what you are creating. Whether you realize it or not, it never stops. It is always going. You have a vibrational frequency that is leaving your body every second of every day, day and night, and it will attract what it resonates with. It will attract what you are in harmony with, and you can change your frequency by changing your mind. The more conscious you are of the miracles that happen in your life, like right now, it is a miracle. I'm speaking, it's going into some device that's recording it and making a video that can then be all around the world. Is that not a miracle? Is making an adjustment that changes the course of a child's life, is that not a miracle? Clipped my fingernails earlier today. They're going to grow back out again. Is that not a miracle? How does that happen? How does the body know to do that? The more conscious you are of the miracles that happen in your life, the more you attract such experiences. Rejoice. Be grateful for every good thing and even things that teach you a lesson. And your world can continue to be an abundance of miracles. Tory out.